Hello everybody and welcome back to Full House Sports. Here myself Charlie. Wonderful the video starts. Please like, comment and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated as I try to become a one-man sports news bandwagon. As I said in another video on my channel, I have been on holiday in beautiful Bosnia, so I have been very late reacting to this news, to be honest with you, but it is something that I think if I did discuss, I'd be completely missing the point, which is Conor Benn to Zuffa. Or Zuffa, as I should say, maybe, and what seismic news it is in terms of the boxing landscape. Now, I think there's two ways of looking at this. One way is this is Dana White having a power play early doors. He's certainly gone for one of Eddie Hearn's prized possessions, and he seemed to have got him on side, which, you know, it is what it is. It's a one-fight deal according to Chris Mannix, and it's for $10 million. You can't blame Conor Benn for taking that. I mean, they always talk about loyalty. What was it? Roy Keane said, you want loyalty, get a dog. And boxing is the least loyal game, and promoters are the dirtiest players in the game. So anyone who is out there feeling a little bit sorry for Eddie Hearn, I wouldn't, to be honest with you, because I think that he is, you know, he himself is no angel in terms of the way he sometimes has treated fighters. There's plenty of examples. Frank Warren is, you know, he's had fighters taken to court. No promoter is loyal, and anyone who's foolish enough to think that is an idiot, to be honest with you. The one thing I do feel sympathy maybe for Hearn for is the fact that it looks like he's loaned Ben money when Ben wasn't fighting, which if so is very admirable. I'm not sure how that works in terms of contracts and everything else, but we'll have to wait and see. And Hearn did stick his reputation on the line with the whole Ben Eubank thing and defending what was at the time a drugs cheat. And I still think Conor Benn is a drugs cheat. I've said on the channel before, and some people have given me stick on socials for it before, I don't particularly like Conor Benn in terms of his mannerisms, in terms of everything he does. But does that affect him? No, he's going to bet $10 million for one fight, so who can blame him? The other six flips on that coin to look at is what this means, I think, for the future of promotions in boxing, because there's been long whispered or long murmurs in the game that Frank Warren has tried to distance himself from Turki Al-Sheikh. I don't think that's any coincidence why we're seeing Dubois Wardley, for example, happen here in Manchester, why we're seeing Tyson Fury happen at Tottenham, although I don't think Warren's fully involved with that, why we've seen more of these big fights move to the UK, which is obviously fantastic. For example, Chisora Wilder being in the UK as well, which is fantastic for us UK fight fans. But I do think there may be a bit of a civil war developing here in boxing between Turki Al-Sheikh, His Excellency, and Dana White, because let's face it, they are teamed up now, I think, firmly. The ring and Zuffa, how it works, I don't know, but for me, I think they are well and truly business partners. And I've said this before on social media, on my ex, I should say, and it's not, I'm not going to act like I'm the originator of this idea, but I do think this is the truth, is I think Turki Al-Sheikh has sweetened these promoters up, flashed the cash at them, got them the money, they've been giving it the His Excellency, and then now all of a sudden he's turned on them and gone, no, I'm going to start taking off your fighters because actually, let's cut out the middleman here. Why do I need to let Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren on the stage when I could just stand between the two fighters instead? Now, I know it's not as simple as that, but I think for me, that's definitely what's happening. Now, Riyadh Season, Seller, whoever it is, all these Saudi offshoots from their PIF, the Public Investment Fund, they have big stakes in promotional companies. In Matchroom, they have a stake in Matchroom. They also have a stake in Boxer. Now, I don't think that's any coincidence. I think they'll probably take a stake in Top Rank as well, if they've got any sense about them. I think they will end up signing a lot of fighters to Zuffa, and Turkey and Dana will have things their own way, and Saudi Arabia will try at least to get full ownership of boxing. I think Hearn and Warren have got a few tricks up their sleeve yet, especially Frank Warren. He's a wily old dog. He's not a muppet. I think he will probably have a few tricks up his sleeve, hence why, like I say, we've got Chisora Wilder and we've got Dubois Wardley over in this country on Queensberry shows, or Misfits Pro and Queensberry shows in the case of Chisora Wilder. But I do think that's the move that's happening. And I think we could start to see a bit of a civil war developing, similar to what happened a few years ago, if you remember, when Golden Boy and Richard Schaefer and Al Heyman split off. And there was that big split. Then it went to PBC, and Golden Boy sort of went to Top Rank with Canelo, or went to HBO, with Canelo, and Top Rank was already there as well. And we sort of had that split. I think this is very similar, where we could have fighters going to the USA or staying here. As for Ben, just quickly before the video, I'm not entirely sure what they do with him, because he's a pretty average fighter, let's be real. And I've said that before. He's not gonna, I don't think he'll be a world champion. The only way he could is because the welterweight division, as I've said on another video, is poor. But I don't think he beats Ryan Garcia, the evidence of Garcia's performance last night against Mario Barrios. I don't think he goes and beats I don't know. I mean, he probably might beat Rolly Romero, maybe, or a Lewis Crocker if that fight happens. But I don't think he's an elite fighter. So it's an interesting move. Whether they've got a super fight set up, maybe Shakur is it, or maybe Garcia himself, I don't know. But whether they've got a super fight in the pipeline for Ben and have gone, right, let's pay you, let's have this fight, I don't know. But I do think it's interesting because it's not the power play I think maybe some Americans and American journalists think it is. Because here in Britain, a lot of people go, meh, so what? He's not going to win a world title anyway. And he's not a massive ticket seller. I don't think either. I think if it wasn't for Eubank being the dance partner, he would never have sold out Tottenham. For me, Conor Benn doesn't sell out Tottenham with any of the other champions apart from maybe Ryan Garcia. I don't think, for example, Ben Romero sells out Tottenham or Ben Crocker or any of those fights. I don't think that is a sellout. But even Ben Haney, I don't think sells out over here at Tottenham. So it's an interesting move from Dana White, and what happens next will be intriguing. But like I say, I think the Civil War has been declared, and it will be very interesting to see the next moves. I saw Dan Raphael tweet that something massive was coming for Zuffa. Who that could be, I don't know. I see Andy Ruiz is confirmed to sign for them. So who knows what could be next. I suspect Usyk, if I'm honest. I think that's the next move, because he's without a promoter. I think Usyk to Zuffa will be the next thing, but you never know. As always, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Anything you guys do is greatly appreciated. Try and become a one-man sports news bandwagon. I've been Charlie. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.